by the end of the day. All right, that's cool. So let me share my screen now. All right. All right, so for the sake of people that are joining us today, you could see all of this red line. So the next one, we want to do our delivery history. So you can see all of these red lines and stuff like that. It is just a layout that I always follow because I always use iPhone 10, right? That is iPhone 10 or iPhone 11, I can't even remember. That is the iPhone that has 375 by 812. And there is a layout I always follow. That is this margin 16, the status bar is 44, navigation top nav 44, this one is 39, and this one is 49 for your tab menu. So I always follow this particular arrangement to ensure that it fits into any phone perfectly. Right, and someone was asking me too as well that, okay, how this stuff is not well arranged, how do we come up with stuff like this particular status bar? Is there a plugin for it or something? Actually, this is what I do, and anybody that asks me, I always say that, okay, this is where you get your status bar from. So if you go to like Figma community, you search for this particular file, this is it here. Just search for Android, let me click it. I don't want it to come on do. Just search for Android plus iOS, Android or iOS wireframe, something like that. iOS wireframe. So I already have the do, right? So it will, oh God. So search for it. You are going to see this exact file, mobile wireframe UI kit. So once you see it, you cannot duplicate it. So once you duplicate it, let me open on a new tab now. Once you duplicate it, you're able to see a lot of stuff that you can use that you don't need to like start to create from scratch again, right? So from there is where most people actually pick stuffs like this, and even some wireframe elements that you can use, taking time to come on. So if you just want, probably you're working on your own personal project and you're wondering, okay, Samuel, why are you guys getting all of this 9.9, 41 minutes after 9 or to 10 from all the time? So something like this. So this stuff is Android or mobile wireframe UI kits. You should be able to see it. Then under iOS, you see that of iOS as well. So there are different like status bars for iOS. You just copy the one that you want, right? Me, I copied this one. Right, can copy anyone that depending on what you're doing. This is good for mockup and stuff. If you're working on a very low fidelity wireframe, you can choose something else for your low fidelity wireframe and works fine for you as well. Then these are several UI kits for iPhones. Then if you're working on an Android frame, you can use some of their own stuff here. This is like basically how Android phone apps look like. You can use some of their stuff here. Then if you're just looking for generic stuff, you can go under the generic page and you can pick any of this stuff. And this is for images. This is for like headlines. This one is for like paragraph text. This could be for icons or circular images. And this could be for buttons, so on and so forth. This is like your status bar as well, so on and so forth, right? That you can actually just like easily use. So that is where I copy that stuff from. And that's how I brought this stuff here, right? So another thing again, I just want to share before I continue my design is that you might be wondering where I got this map from, right? Probably you might be thinking, Asama, did you like design the map from scratch? I did not design the map. So there is a plugin for that. So I will let me just create a frame. So what I normally do is, when you want a map, you just create a frame. And I normally use this particular frame, iPhone 13 mini. Yeah, that's the frame. So this is it actually. So let's say I want a map now. I want a Google map on this stuff because yes, I'm working on a stuff that needs Google map, right? So when I have something like this, I would start up a plugin. There's a plugin you install. The plugin is called MapSQL. So that's the plugin I use. I believe there are other plugins, but I think MapSQL is one of the most popular plugins for maps inside of Figma. So you just like set up your MapSQL plugin, and you're definitely going to see different map here that you could add, right? Then you select the type of map that you want to use. You can add your coordinates here to take you like to the position of the map, right? Or you just zoom in to what area. I think I look for the coordinate of Lagos, or I zoomed in into Lagos or something. So this is Nigeria, of course. Can always zoom into that particular area that you want, and Lagos is somewhere here. And And depending on the style you want, you could want straight, you could want light. I chose light, and light will give you this particular stuff. You could just keep zooming into Lagos till you see a particular area that you are familiar with, right? So if you are looking for Yaba, Lekki, or something, you should be able to see it. Or better still, you just go and look for the coordinates and input the coordinate there, and yeah, you have it, right? So just zoom in into any street of your choice, and there you go. Look for area that you recognize and you want that area to be on your map, and there you go. You have my frame size selected already. Then I'll just click on create map. I could use lights, I could use dark, I could use satellites, this one is satellites. I could use street or satellite or street, any of those stuff, right? But I love using lights anyways. Lights what I use on this particular project. So you click on create map. The moment you click on create map, this particular plugin will just do justice for you. And you have your map inside that particular frame that you selected, and there you go. Start using it to design. So let me delete that. So just in case you're wondering where I got this map from, and probably I've seen some of the areas like Falomore. If you're in Lagos, you should know Falomore, Alfred, Wilmore, all those familiar streets and stuff like that. I didn't create this. I used Mapsico to actually do that. And for this particular, this stuff is an image. I got the image somewhere, I can't remember, and I brought it here as well. This Uber image, stuff like that. And of course, if just a simple Google search, you should be able to get some of these things that you need actually. Then yeah, that's it. That's how I got that. So let me go ahead. So the next thing I want to do now is, of course, I've already made this stuff a variant, right? I think I made it a variant, and all of my components, I'm keeping it. I always have this. I always love creating a separate page where I drop my component, and later I'll use to like structure the design system whenever I'm done with the project. So I already create like a component for all of my head section, because I know that, yeah, I have location here, I have delivery here and stuff. So I need a component for that. So I already create a component, and the component has a name, of course, and that's the name of the component there. So I can actually just like go into asset here, and I will look for it, and I will, let me drag this stuff so I'm blocking my road. All right. I can look for it and basically and bring it in, or better still, you see it from your other component, and because screen title. So if I go to asset, I search for like screen title, and name is screen title, and I could see it here. I can easily just drag it and drop it in here, and I have that. So I love to use component a lot, so I'll put it there. And so that's how it is. So it's called delivery details. And but right now, yeah, this will be history, right? This is not delivery details. This will be delivery history. So delivery history, perfect. So I have that there, and this is my delivery details page. So and it's actually doing justice for me there. So the next thing I want to look at is, how do I come up with the wireframe now, right? How will this particular layout, how is it going to look like? So when someone's booked for like your previous ride and so on and so forth, what are the things that people should be looking out for, right? So so in a normal case, this is where you want to go back to like your user stories. You want to go back to your user stories and check up what you basically did inside of your empathy map. Unfortunately, these guys didn't do the empathy map. So this is where UX will be affecting our UI right now. So we have to like come back and actually redo this empathy map. So because it's in this particular point, we're definitely going to see if we are going to know what is going to be inside the opportunity. What are we going to show the user, so we can actually replicate that part. We can read this particular UX inside of our UI. But since we don't have an empathy map for that, not empathy map, sorry, user journey map, right, for that, and we'll come back here and we'll now assume, okay, what should be inside our delivery history, right? So we want our previous delivery, right? So I'm just going to draw a very, very low fidelity wireframe quickly and see what it is before I convert it to high fidelity wireframe. So the low fidelity wireframe is normally, if not that I'm recording myself, I wouldn't have done the low fidelity wireframe on screen. I would have basically sketch it, because I love when I sketch, I brainstorm easily right there. So this is not like your normal tutorial that you see on YouTube. If I'm preparing this video now for YouTube, I would have done the design, so I already know what I'm designing before I start designing. But here I'm just coming out fresh. I've not done this design before anywhere. I've not looked at anywhere before, so I'm just doing it straight and straight from my brain, basically, right? I've not brainstormed before. So something like this now, what I want to do now is to easily come up with the low fidelity user frame. So the user know that, okay, they are under their delivery history. then probably I would want to drop a little text here saying all deliveries, probably something like that. And I will also probably want an icon here so that they should be able to like filter this particular stuff. Let's say like a filter icon. Let's drop it here. Let's make this one a square box or something like this. Just okay, yeah, this is an icon, right? So let's say this is an icon and this is a text, right? So we have a simple icon here for filter, so they can filter by date. They can filter based on if it is recent or so on and so forth. They can select their delivery history and stuff. Then I should be able to have like my several delivery stuff now. Let me just give this stuff a cover, probably something like this, right? So at the end of the day, I'm expecting this stuff to look something like this. Yeah, don't worry about the spacings. I'm just duplicating it. I'm holding alternate to duplicate it. Probably something like this, right? So something like this should go for our delivery histories. Now, something like this should go for our delivery. You know that part of Uber or Bolt where you go. In fact, let me even open my Bolt app now and see what's on my Bolt app. Let me see how Bolt actually did theirs. In terms of, you want to see like all your previous ride, right? This thing is telling me no internet. I have internet now. All right, okay, let me see if I have my previous ride. Let's see how it looks like. All right, my Bolt app is trying to come up. All right, so let's see if I can go to my trip history. So both call it trip history and all right, say trip history, you can go back. They do not show my most recent history. They do not show me dates. So they don't have a filter option, right? So what I want to see is certain date and so on and so forth. So something like that is not there inside of Boot, right? And I think I would want something like that. I want a filter option. So this could be like idea number one, right? So let me drop another idea again. Idea number two could be me coming up with something like this, whereby I'll say, okay, let there be let me say all deliveries or something in here, or even I don't even want this, right? I just want probably you know that sort icon. So you know that sort icon that will be here. That kind of icon. Let me make it a circular object. Let me make it circular. So this is me just like brainstorming to know, okay, what I'm about to design. So you know that sort icon could be here. Then I could have this from dates. I could have from dates and to dates. Go back. Let me make this one smaller like this. I could have select from dates and to dates, and they could actually be able to, like, you can actually filter your history and you can see your history. Then you can have something like this. So this could be another option I could have, right? So just for me now, I don't need the text here. I feel like I don't need the text here because I already have like my title here saying delivery history. So for me now to come here and say all deliveries again is like, we don't have some, like basically the UX writing will be bad. I'm basically repeating myself. I already gave this stuff. So I think something like this will go. So now something like this will go to be easier to implement and so on and so forth. I think I will go with this particular second idea. So time for us to implement this stuff and convert this particular low fidelity. In fact, this is already a wireframe, but it's a low fidelity wireframe. So it's time for me to convert this low fidelity to high fidelity. Are you guys ready? Hope you guys understand what I'm doing though. Or you guys are already watching football. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So am I to proceed, or I'm just talking to myself?
Yeah, continue. You can continue.
All right. Any other person apart from you? Let me see the chat section. We are with you. Proceed, sir. And don't forget, you can actually ask questions. So this is asking if I'm recording this session. Of course, I'm recording this session. I'm recording it. I'll do my best to record every session and upload it to YouTube so that if you miss it, you can actually go back to it and watch. But there is this amazing stuff of you being online and be able to ask questions and basically see the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the essence of this class is this particular I'm designing public, that I'm doing is for you to just like get to see the way I brainstorm. They will just do stuff and they will just basically design, and the idea behind the design, not just like the finish work of the design. And it's not just basically like a normal class. Please, what is the like showing? What is the like showing? I don't know. How did you fix the line like a, I don't understand. Please, what is that like? Okay, please, what is that line showing? The red line. How did you fix the line like that? All right, perfect. So I think I've explained this stuff. I think I explained it last week, but let me just like re-explain it again for Oma. So if you go on Google and you search for iPhone, because I'm using iPhone screen, right? If you search for iPhone UI layout, let me use this one, iPhone UI layout. I covered this the other day, that if you search for iPhone UI layout, it's like a guideline. You will see something like this. And okay, let me copy this now. Let me basically copy this, copy image. You see something like this, and it's like a guide, right? It just helped me like a guide. So I normally work with it, so it's like a guide. So let me drop it here. So you see something like this now. It's showing you that, okay, well, this is how this particular screen size of 35 by 812 by 812. So if it's another artboard that is not 35 by 81 and 375 by 812 I selected, I'll have to go and look for like the recommended UI layout for that particular device. So I can design according to that particular device. If it's an Android frame I'm using, I have to like go and look for Android UI layout so as well. So I'll get to see that. So I have already done this. So what I did was, if I create a sample frame, for example now, and this stuff is telling me that, okay, status bar is going to hit about 44 points. So I'll just draw this, my construction line, my guideline basically, and I will look for where it is 44 here. Perfect, I'll drop it there. So I know that, okay, this short pass for status bar is telling me that, okay, the recommended navigation bar height is 44. Of course, you know all of this bar navigation bar that you see on phones, that for this particular screen, the recommended height for it is 44. So I'll just go and look for 44 and place it as well. Then the margin I should leave by the left and the right as well should be 16, 16. Look at it here, 16 points. So I will draw from this edge and put it here, and also draw from this edge and put it here. And it's saying that the home indicator is 34, right? So I will go ahead and bring in home indicator 34 here and bring in my status bar 49 here. So that is how I got it, right? So now whenever I'm designing, I will know where my design can cross and where my design cannot cross. This will serve as a guide. It is not part of my design. And just in case on your own Figma, you're not seeing this particular rule, you can actually toggle it on by going to File, View, and you can see rulers, right? That is Shift R. Can toggle it on and or off for you. Shift R, right? Toggle it on and off for you, so I can see your rule there. So basically, that's how I got that. And I have that tradition of always obeying that part of it, right? So I have the tradition of always obeying that. So that's how I work actually. So since I have brainstormed, and I think I would go with this particular part, and okay, basically we'll work on both of them and see which one works, and later we'll pick one. But let's start with this particular first one. So let's do this convert this stuff to something like more or less like a high fidelity wireframe, right? So of course, if you look at my wireframe now, all of the design, there is no color at all apart from the highlight color. So I would look for dates now, like normal date picker and stuff like that. So I will draw a frame. I love to use frames. I'll draw this now, and I'll give it a height of, let's give it a height of like 30 and see what goes in there. And let's give it a fill. We'll give it our background fill. And since we've been using capsule shape, let's make this stuff, this height a little bit bigger for now, and give it the rounded radius of like 20 or thereabout. Let's see, let's give this stuff like 20. All right, this stuff could be too big, but it is what it is. So let's see what we can do. So what I want to do now, I want to look for, I'll go to my component. I want to go and look for like dates. I want to go and look for an icon that will help me, like date picker. No, that date picker icon is like calendar or something, right? That's what is always there. So I'll look for like a calendar there, and I'll go to my plugin. The icon plugin I'm using is Iconly, and I'll basically look for calendar, and I'm using the double tone. So I'll look for calendar, and of course they should have something like looks like calendar here. I've seen it before. Okay, this is it. So let's go to this and see if they have. All right, so this is it. So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click this, and I'll convert it to 24. I always have that stuff, and I'll make it a component so that I can add it as a variant into my icon, right? All right, perfect. So I can add it inside my icon here. Let me drag this stuff. All right, just drop it here. Amazing. I'll add it there. Then guess what I'll do again? I'll look for another arrow. I'll look for another icon. Let me go back to Iconly. I'll look for another icon. I'm looking for this icon. You know this icon for sort to sort stuff. It always have this arrow up and down. Yeah, this is it. This is the icon, right? Swap. That is the icon. So do we have another one? So that's the icon over there. So I'll pick it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't really like this particular one though, but that's what this particular icon pack is giving me. Something like this. I don't really like it. Probably I'll change it in the future, but let me just use it for now. I really don't like this particular thing I just picked right now. I'll not lie. Where is it? Come for me, come. Oops. Control Z. What was happening? Oh, I think I picked more than one. All right, that's it. I don't really like it, but let me use it anyways. Or I prefer something much more simpler. This looks too complicated for what I'm looking for. But let me make it a component as well, and I will drag it inside what I'm looking for. All right. Then later we can actually make corrections and so on and so forth. So now I can go to my assets and I can search for icons. And of course, I'll bring this icon down here. I'll place it here. I ensure it's at the middle. Then I'll look for calendar, of course. And yep, so it will automatically appear here. You understand? Then I ensure it's at the middle of the whole thing. Then I'll look for a simple texture. Then I'll write from, right? So this is stuff. Go over there. Then I'll convert it to like my normal text. So I already have like this character styles. I explained it the last video that we did. There, that is it. And no, that's not it. Yep, that's it. There. Then I want it to give me this text color. Gray, I think is gray 4 I've been using. All right, that's it. Then let's call this from, and let's put it here. And this stuff as well. So let's see the spacing around it. So of course it's at the middle. So yeah, it's cool. This one too needs to be at the middle too. So okay, it's already at the middle. So let's see the alignments as well. Okay, let's make it 5. All right. So this is me trying to implement this stuff. Of course, it's not set on stone. if I feel like at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is not really making sense, we could actually do away with this stuff, right? So for now, let's do something. Let's add a layout grid, and I would curve this column, right? And I would add a margin by the side to give me 16, and the gutter, I think 20 is too much. Let's see 10. So 10 seems great to me. Then it's 5. So since it's 5, I'll make from and to occupy 2, 2. So I'll just leave it like this. Now, the reason why I did something like this now is for effective, what's the word? For effective dates. So I could select from dates. Let's make this from dates. Then I'll make this, I think 14 is too much, or make it a smaller text, 16. Perfect. Ensure that the middle, ensure that the spacing behind it is also 5. Then this icon, I think 24 is too big for it. So I'll make it like 20 and see what I have. So 20 seems too big for it too as well. I'll make it 16. I'll do it the same way too as well. Align it as well. Add like auto layouts to the whole stuff. I'll use like Shift A now to add auto layout to it. Then I will give it like the spacing between it and the auto layout should be like 5. I will ensure that it is around this edge and it is aligned and it is centralized, right? So I'll take a look at what I'm doing. I can easily toggle and off this stuff if I feel it's too much for me, or better still, let me reduce the transparency to like 5. I don't want it to be so much. Then, all right, so this is what I have. Of course, this is changeable. So I'm going to duplicate this now. Of course, always remember to name your frame, right? So I'll name this frame from date, right? So I'll say from, no. What frame is this? Okay, this is it. All right, from date, from underscore date, right? Then this one, I can name it icon slash date. All right, perfect. Let's just put it like that. Or placeholder. So I love to name stuff, basically. So we have that there. Then there's no need making this stuff a variant or something, because it's only here I'm going to use it, except if I find myself using it somewhere else again, then I can change it. Then I can have like a to date, right? And I could change this to to dates. Yeah, from date to date, the range of dates, something like that. Then probably I could change this stuff later on. Then this height is 40. 40 height seems too big, but you never can tell. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to draw an ellipse shape. And since I've been using 40, I'm going to make this 40 as well. And of course, make it this particular placeholder, and I'll come and drop it at this particular point, right? And I will ensure it's by the edge. Now you might be thinking, Summer, why do you give this stuff a 5 grade? So I give this stuff this particularly at a 5 grade so that I'll be able to like divide my screen. Or like, okay, the from date to occupy 2 grid, the to date to occupy 2 grid, then the sort will occupy the last grid, right? So now since I have divided it, I can hide this a little bit, and I have something like this. Then I can go back and bring back my eye and put it in here, basically. And I don't want idea, of course. I want that swap stuff. Then that's what I'm talking about. So I could have this stuff like this there. So I can select both of them and ensure that they are aligned together like this. Then I could Control G it. Control G it is to make it group. I've made it a group. Then of course, I'll call it what? This could be sorts. It could be called sorts to descend, ascend, stuff like that, just to like change it. And my mind is telling me this is not the right icon for sort to do, but later I would actually clarify if my mind is right. So basically, we could have something like this, and if we have something like this, and the next thing I could have now is I think we need a headline here to actually introduce what we're doing. I actually think we need a headline here. I'm not really fully correct. So the next thing I want to do now is to try to bring out this all this other stuff that I've drawn so far. So this what I've drawn so far now will be me saying, okay, where is it now? Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to see what we've done. So if someone sent a logistic, send a parcel. So what we'll be looking out for inside here now is the delivery location. So let's try and do that. So I'll be looking out for the date they sent it, of course. I'll be looking out for the date. I'll be looking out for the location. So I'll start by typing a text. So this is just like a rough sketch to know what I'm trying to do. So I would say from location, for example, now let me say Yaba / Yaba Lagos. So that would be the best way to do this. I'll say Yaba Lagos to Lekki Lagos, right? So I'll put that there, right? So another thing I could do is, this is me just brainstorming. Another thing I could do is I could draw a simple icon here actually. So this icon here now could be, if they use a bike, because here now you could see like the vehicle type, if it's a bike, if it's a car, if it's a van, all those kind of stuff. So that icon could actually be here. Then their pickup location to their delivery location will appear here. Then we could have another text now that will show the date. For example, let's say 20. So this date is what, say 4th, right? If I'm correct. What's this date again, say? So this date is 4th, yeah, 4th of May. So let's say 4th May 2022. Oops. 2022, then I will make this, of course, a small text. Okay, this is small text already. Then if this is small text already, then I will change the field to give me my grade 3 field. Okay, grade 3 field seems nice. And this one now should not be a small text, of course. It should be like a paragraph text thereabouts, right? To be way bigger than this. And this should not be full black, of course. It should give my text color something like this. I have grade 3. If I want it to lighter, I can go to grade 2. All right, grade 2 seems cool. Then I could have this. I have another smaller text too. Yeah, this seems perfect. Then I would ensure everything is intact. Then I will look at this together. Yeah, well aligned to one another. Then at this particular point, I will of course love to add like auto layout to it. So I'll just say my auto layout now should be Shift A and okay, 0, perfect. Then I call this one details, right? So another thing that we could do now is, of course, you know that they of course want to see the price. They of course want to see the status and so on and so forth, the status of this particular delivery on first glance, right? So that's the point. So they want to see this stuff on first glance. So it depends on what we are going to do. So me now, the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, if they want to see this stuff on first glance, right, I could actually put a status in here, or I could put a status at the top here, which I don't really think is great. Or I could put a status here. And the next thing I'm going to do now is, I'm just thinking. The next thing I'm going to do now is attach the fee somewhere around here. So let me do that of the fee first. So let me come here and say, let's say N, for example, let's say this particular stuff costs like 1,200 for them to deliver it. I'll give it like a body text, but this particular body text, I actually want it to be bold. So let me detach it a little bit and make it bold. All right, I want this stuff to be bold, and I also want it to have like this color here. I could put it somewhere around here. For now, I'm just trying to test this stuff, then later we arrange it. So we could do something like this. And of course, ensure that they are all bottomly aligned to, they're aligned to each other at the bottom there. So we could do this. So the one more thing that is missing, if you guys ask me, would definitely be the what now? Would definitely be the location. No, the status. So I want it to be able to display status, right? So one way we could do this is by saying, okay, let's create a badge and put it by this side there and say, okay, guy, this is your status. 4th of May, 2022, we have a status there. So let's try that. So we could go ahead and do something like this. How do we create a status now? I can create a simple bar here. And let's make this a very light gradient. Where's that fill again? We could make this stuff a very light gradient. Don't worry, I will hog the contents later. And let's type a status inside of it. Let's say this status now is the status now is completed or delivering or so on and so forth, right? So let's say I'm delivering, right? So they are still on the way, right? Delivering this particular stuff. I'll make this stuff smaller. Text, let me go and look for a smaller text. Okay, something like this. No, 10 is too much, safe. Very smaller text, and I would ensure everything is fixed. No, this particular one is fixed there. Assign it to the, centralize it like that, and change the color to something very light too as well. Then this particular frame now, I can add an auto layout to it and give it like, let's see what 5 does. Oh, 5 seems too big actually. 5 is too big. Let's give it 2. 2. Okay, 2 seems too big to me. I'll not lie to you. If I give it 2, I'll give you a 0. All right, let's see. I'll give you a 0. Amazing. Is the text. The text have something around it. So I'll give you a 5. Perfect. I'll give you a 5 as well. Then I can now actually give you like, let's say, just give you a 15. All right, so this stuff seems not great to me still. So let's see, 10-10. Okay, 10-10 looks cool. Yeah, 10-10 looks cool. So I could bring this stuff in here. Oops. Oh, because I make this stuff auto layout. Sorry, so let's take this auto layout out again. Let me ungroup this. Let me not add auto layout to it. So I know what I'm giving auto layout to. So something like this could be cool, but it actually seems weird to me. I don't really like it. So let's try it here. Delivering still looks somehow, right? Still looks somehow. So it's to find a better place, because if this stuff is coming here, this stuff needs to be way smaller. Let me remove this. Let me reduce my frame a bit. All right. Now, there is something about this text. There is something that is happening to this text that I don't understand. The text is giving me some kind of shade. Let me detach it. Something is happening to my text. I think it's all right. Control Z, let's see what's happening. Aha. Let's bring our text to this way. So the text is misbehaving. Let me type this text over again and know what's happening. Show me 10 pop-ins, blah blah blah. Let me reduce it to, this is not the sign of 10. Okay, this is the sign of 10. So let's see. I've seen what is actually causing that particular spacing and displaying my spacing. I think is this height here, this 21. Let me change it to auto. All right, perfect. It's not giving me that stuff again. This one is letter spacing. This one is line height. So if this stuff is increased, Let me give it like 50 and see. See, that was what was causing that particular stuff. It's making it, giving it some unrealistic padding that I don't like. I was just wondering what was causing it. And so let's give it back to our gray. No, this is too much. This gray is cool. We'll go further and change this other one from gray 5 to something thicker. Of course, this stuff is going to have a color, so yeah, doesn't matter. All right, let me see what I have here now. Let me attach my auto layout back to it. I have 1. So let's make this 2 back again. Since I've solved that little text issue there, I could make this like 6, and let's make this 6 too as well. Amazing. The 2 is not doing justice to that because of the bottom part of it. All right, this seems great, but if that is that, this is have to be 8. So have to be like ×2 of the whole thing. All right, so we have our status now. We have a challenge. So the challenge now would be we have to position this stuff where it will look good, right? So let's do this together and see. Amazing. Or let's make it to the top, align it to the top of it. All right, amazing as well. Let's try this one out. Okay, cool. So something like this could work perfectly fine. And we have something like this as well. So this could be it. This could actually be it. This is one way we can actually go about it. So another way we could go about it, let me try another way. Let me copy this. Because of course, all of this stuff is not like, another way we could go about it is just to place the status in here. And this particular guy here, we don't need it anymore. So it could be like this. Then if it is like this, this one now have to come in at the middle of everything like this. So on a different way we could place it. So what do you guys think? If you guys are still with me, let me see. Okay, that's still saying. All right. So what do you guys think? Are you guys still with me here? I'm just talking to myself all this while.
Yep, I'm with you.
Ah, are you sure? So,
Yeah.
so let me see if you guys can contribute to this brainstorming session now. So basically, we are looking at how we can actually do all of this stuff. And so far, so good. I came up with stuff like something like this. So I think something like this is cool, even without actually doing that stuff, because that stuff is actually giving me problem, and I'm not actually fully comfortable with what I have there. So now for me to actually make this particular one responsive, so let me delete that. I don't like the fact that this one is here, and it looks good, but it looks too bulky, right? It looks too bulky for an information. So I'm going to take it off. I think I will go with this. So if I'm going with this, now I have to attach auto layout to the both of these two things. Then if I'm giving this stuff auto layout, let me take this off. If I'm giving this stuff auto layout together, I'm going to ensure it's like this, of course, and the spacings between them should not be more than 10, of course. Then I would have what I would say date and status, date underscore dates and status. Perfect. Then this particular one now could now have its own auto layout, right? So I can give this guy an auto layout now, and the auto layout is 0, of course, no big deal. Then this guy is right here. Then, of course, if I'm adding another auto layout, it will be with this other guy, and 12, I'll take it 1, 2, so it will be 10. Then we could have our icon here. So our icon, of course, you could see this height here is showing us 42. So let's try something here. Let's try to make this other guy 42. If we make this guy 42, we should have something like this. 1, 2, we should have something like this. Now, if we have something like this guy being at the middle, somewhere here, like, okay, this is what I'm saying. This guy now being somewhere here. All right, perfect. Or this guy could be somewhere here. Perfect. Or this guy could be somewhere here. Perfect. So below is best. All right, so that's one way we could go about it. Then we have 42 here, we have 42 here. Then if I select these guys together, perfect. So this is going to be an icon. So if it's an icon now, I can actually reduce the color of the icon and just put it this color for now. So now this is me trying to design what would definitely be inside of this particular space, right? So this could be me like, okay, doing several designs and just basically seeing what will work and giving stuff several auto layout and just basically aligning it. Now, but based on our previous designs here, we've been using stuff like look like this kind of gray card and stuff like that. But to be sincere with you, I don't plan on giving this stuff card. I don't plan on giving it a card. So I'm not going to design my stuff like this anymore. So I'll do something like this. I'll create a line. If I give it a card, it's going to be cliche. So I'm just going to create a line and I'm going to draw my line here, right? And to create a very soft line, I love to do something. I love to, what's that word now? I love to give my line 0.5 actually. And I love to give it a very faint color, something like this. Okay, even like this, this gray is even too light. So it's too thick. Oh, this one is too light. So let's go to this other shade of gray. All right, perfect. So I would love to give it something like this. So if I have something like this, I definitely will want to see, okay, let me see my line. Let me see the spacing 17. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the spacing now will be 10, right? So we could have something like this now. So 10. So now we know that we have 10 up, 10 down. So let's create a frame. So let's put it inside a frame. Let's put all of this stuff inside a frame. So automatically it enters that particular frame just by you drawing a frame around it, right? So now it could be, this particular frame now could be called, what's the word now? We'll call it what? Delivery detail, delivery card or something, delivery detail. Let's just call it delivery detail without an S. So that's our frame there. And there's no point in sending our frame to the edge. So permit me to draw my frame like this. Okay, wait first. Because all of this stuff is inside the frame. I don't want this. I don't want this line now coming. Or I know what to do. I know what to do. All right. So this guy, let me bring it back. This one constraint should be right. And this other guy should be touching the edge of the frame, of course. And this other guy should go by the side too as well. I just want it to be 10. 1, 2, 3, 10, perfect. So this other guy too, that is the line guy, should be stretched to the edge of this frame. Perfect. I think the frame is not really touching the edge. Let's take a look at our frame a bit. Perfect. So let's look at our line and ensure it's touching both edge. And okay, this line is so tall. So let's adjust it. Perfect. Then this line now can be left and right. Amazing. So that we can now actually, anytime we resize our frame, it actually goes fine. Then the height of this frame is the next thing that we need to consider. The height of this frame is too much, right? So the next thing to consider is the height of the frame. Let me pick in my line. I say this line should be here. The constraints, I'm just watching everything. Then this height of this frame now, I don't want it to be more than 10. Let's see. what we have, 24, 24. All right. So I'll step everything here by 10. So this is 14. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, perfect. So if I check it now, my height should be 10. Yeah, that's what I want. Then I group this and ensure that the spacing down to is also 10. Amazing. So it's 12. So I could actually reduce this stuff by 62. Perfect. Now I have stuff, yeah, 10, 10. You could see that everything is well done. So I have this particular frame now. So I want to duplicate it over. Let me bring it down a bit. Let me rearrange this stuff. Take this one to the top. Take this one to the top. I have our from dates. Call this one to dates. To dates. Call this one soft. Because this should be like this. Then delivery details, amazing. Then I can now duplicate this, right? Control D can duplicate it for me. I hold both of them together. I use Shift A to give it, to add an auto layer to that stuff. And I can have stuff like this. Then I can also name this one history or results, anyone. It could be history or results. Then we could now go far as, we can now continue to duplicate this like a couple of times. Control D, thereabouts, just do stuff. Control D, couple of times, yeah. As many times as we like. And let's play this now for the first time and see what we have. All right, okay. So so this is what we have. So this is what we have. So of course we need to have like an icon inside here, right? So some of this stuff now will be delivering. Some of it could be sending. Then different colors. Then we have like several icons inside this particular stuff, right? To show what we deliver, the date that we deliver. Then they can now filter it by date and so on and so forth, right? So just by taking a look at all of this stuff, I could actually group it together. I could say Control G and I could name this particular group filter, right? And I can actually say, okay, 37, 1, 2, 3, this is 40, 1, 2, 3. So this is 10. So this is 10 now. I could paste it up and say, okay, let's have another 10 here. 13, 1, 2, 3. So I said, okay, is this what I'm looking for? Is what I'm looking for? Cool, right? It's not what I'm looking for. I will paste this down. Let's paste this down like 20. Let's say 20 and 20. So we have like 20 spaces around it. So to just give it little space down there. So what do you guys think?
It looks good, but I was thinking,
Yeah.
how about you put like, I don't know, let the price be like the button shape. I don't know. It looks good.
Okay,
Makes sense.
let the price be in a button shape. The price. Okay, the price not being a button shape because it's not a button.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's not, though all of it will be clickable. Now we need to like in such a way that okay, you want to see your details here. Let's say this particular delivery when you move, where you send stuff from Yaba to Lekki or so this. So once you click here, we should be able to like see the details, right? So it should be clickable, but at the same time, it's not what's the word?
A button.
At the same time, it's not a button.
Okay.
At the same time, it's not a button. So once you click on it, it should be able to like open another page where you see this particular delivery. Then once you open it now, it will bring you to your tracking screen. then it's this stuff. Now, once you click on it, it should take you to something like this. Then you should be able to see the driver that handle that particular stuff for you. Remember last week we said this stuff has several stuff. We have pending, we have delivering, picking up. So in the status we have picking up, we have delivering, we have delivered. So if it is delivered, you click on, you should be able to see something like this. This is the exact location you delivered it to, blah, blah, and the rest. Then, and you should be able to select all of the driver details. If it is delivering, then you say, okay, so place, you see, this is basically your tracking screen, right? So from here, you should be able to like track it. So probably we'll create another screen. And in that screen, they should be able to like, okay, should I track this particular stuff? And should I be able to see like my details, like, okay, the pickup details, the delivery details, the item details, the vehicle type and the status. So we need to like design one more screen. Then from that screen, we will show this individual delivery details. Then from that screen, they should be able to like now track that particular stuff. So that should be the next screen that we should be thinking of designing. So this is like a low fidelity actually, but this is like a high fidelity. But what do you guys think? Should we try another option and see what we can come up with? I need a card though. These particular icons, I need to look for a very good icon like this. Control C, because this stuff is an image and it's not cool. So let me delete most of the things here. All right, everybody go away. Yeah, let's come back to this particular guy now. Let me paste something there. Let me make you 30. Perfect. Let me group you guys together. And let me see, what's if I make you 25? All right. Ensure you guys, you are the middle of the whole stuff. Okay, this is cool. Then we can now do what? We can now Control G this, convert it into a group, and let's call it vehicle type, right? Vehicle underscore type. That's what will be there. All right. So something like this. So if it's a bike you selected, you're going to see it there. If it is stuff, you're going to see there. So basically that's just it. I think this is cool. So that is me saying the from date and the other date. Then here now, this particular filter option will be that once you click on it, it could go from like your first delivery to second delivery. That's like in an ascending order or descending order. So that's what this does actually, ascending or descending order, right? But there's an icon for that actually. There is not this particular icon. I don't like this particular icon. There is a sort icon, call it sort. Let's see, sort icon. There's a way it looks like, ascending or descending sort icon. Yeah, this is the icon. You guys should know this icon, right? So probably I'll create it myself and go and look for, or something like this, ascending or descending order. That is what I want to add there, but that particular icon pack don't have it. So, or we could also add a text here. This is me just thinking. We could also add a text here and say, okay, let me use the word filter. I could add something like this body text. No, let me not use body. Let me use this other H3 kind of text and give it my text color shape. Too thick. All right, this is cool. This is better. So we could do something like this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20. Let's see what we have. 10. Let's see what we have. 20 now. So let's duplicate this. So design is always back and forth, right? I always tell people that designs are back and forth. So you just keep doing something and so you get something that looks like something that is making sense to you. All right, so this is what we have. So at the same time, again, I'm feeling like, okay, this stuff looks so congested, right? And we could add like sort of 0, SE10, 10 is cool. But if I'm adding 10 and I have to come and adjust this particular height again by 10. So let's see that. Let's see if I adjust this by 10, the first one. Okay, this is the first one. Instead of 62, let's say 72. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, I think that is great actually. So I'm going to delete all of this and I'm going to duplicate it again like this. So this will be less cumbersome. All right, now this adds some sort of freedom to the whole stuff. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's good. Looks good.
Amazing. All right, so this is like us using the 20 stuff and adding a little bit of freedom. So we could see delivery, we could see our dates, we could see like our vehicle type here and so on and so forth. And we have a text here introducing what this stuff, filter your history with a specific dates. This is a specific date, so we could have something like this. And there you go. We have a high fidelity mockup that, of course, we can work with. And of course, this height, this stuff can be on and on. In fact, let me just keep going. Control D. So you see, it's keep going over and over there. And let's see. But of course, people cannot like. You see, it's not scrollable. So let's say, what if you want it to be scrollable here? What you would do is two things you can do. You could use scroll height, but I don't like doing that. What I love to do is basically just increase the height of my artboard. So by the time you increase your height of your artboard here, and when you preview it, you still be here, then you'll be able to scroll. Now that you are able to scroll, of course, you could see that something is happening, and what is happening is the fact that everything here is going up together, right? So let's correct that. So our stuff, we want to say fixed position while scrolling. This guide, so for example, now let's say we want to make it fixed position while scrolling. But even if we make this guide fixed position while scrolling, right? Just watch what will happen. The stuff will just still be nice. See, you see, you see that the write-up is still underneath it, so not cool. So let's solve that. Let's solve that. So by solving that, I need to first and foremost make sure that this stuff has a background color. This other guy does have a background color. No, I need to give it the background color too as well. Then fixed position while scrolling too as well. Fixed position while scrolling. Fixed position while scrolling. Then these two guys, they need to be inside a frame. You need to be inside a frame actually, if it will not work. So I would do something like this, put them inside a frame. All right, so this appears to be great, and they're inside a frame automatically. And that frame now I'm going to give it a fill, white fill. I cannot say fixed position while scrolling. And I think this will solve it now. So let's see. So something is still happening, right? You see that little dot there? It's still showing there, that little dot. So let's go and see what's happening there. So something is happening here. It's not perfect. So now we'll solve it. Aha. So it can be like this now. You get that? And of course, if you watch, I'm using this stuff as my alignment to ensure that nothing leaves this particular line. And by so doing, my stuff is well aligned. So we could actually name this stuff now. We could name this particular stuff filter, right? Then name this particular icon solve instead. Perfect. So yeah, so that's what we have. And now delivery details, we just have this. Amazing, looks cool to me though, if you guys ask me. And so that is what we have, guys. That is what we have. So that's one of the things that we could actually consider 2221, and we'll go ahead. So any question? So now, I would love to give someone an assignment. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys the page I would love someone to design. Let me screenshot this boat page. And let me send it to my screen. And what do I do now? Share, airdrop, MacBook, save to downloads. All right, let me copy it. All right, let me paste it here. Let me Control V here. So who wants to try this? If I give you access to this particular file, let me delete this now. Who wants to try to do something like this before next week for us?
Aye.
All right.
Hello.
So this is delivery history, pickup and delivery details.
Okay, design this whole flow.
No, you're not designing the whole flow. You're just designing a simple screen. So
oh, just a screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'll explain it now. This one is delivery, and delivery info. Let's call this one delivery info screen. All right. So this screen that you're seeing here now is, I just screenshotted it from Bolt, right? This is my Bolt app, and yeah. So don't show anybody. This is a real Java that probably I use Bolt. That's the last time I used my Bolt, actually, last month. So now, so this is my delivery details. So from here on Bolt, once you click it, okay, let me show you how Bolt flow is. Let me show you how Bolt flow is. Let me show you. Sites will be on the same page. Let me send it to assets, save to downloads, Control C, Control V. All right, so this is how Bolt looks like. So this is how Bolt looks like, right? So what we did, this is Bolt's own delivery history. They call it trip history. And this is their trip info page in such a way that if you click one of these, you see ours is quite different. On both now, you can actually sort by dates, right? But with us now, you can actually sort by a certain date. But on both now, you can't sort by a certain date. So you just see the dates, March 22, blah, blah. You keep scrolling, you keep seeing stuffs. So you can't sort by the board. Ours, you can sort by date, and you can also filter it from ascending order or descending order. Then if you click on any of this, it takes you to this particular page where you're going to see like the single details. You're going to see like the driver, from the location, this is from Albert Macaulay to Olubi Street. I can't even remember this particular trip. Then you see the fare. It was a short trip, 500 naira, fare board, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. Get help with this trip, and so on and so forth. But in ours now is that once you click on this stuff, we want to be able to like see where we want to see our driver details, we want to see our pickup, receiver details, want to see our item details, want to see our vehicle type that we use, want to be able to see the status of the trip, and want to also be able to like track the driver. Want the bottom about if we click, it will take us to this particular point where we can track this particular driver. So So once they click on any of this, that's the page I want you to design. So something that looks like this. Then when we come next week, then we'll now take a look at your design and we can now correct the design and as well as correct this other guys' design of our wallets section as well. So by the time we do these designs, we know that, okay, we have actually done this part of our flow of our stuff, which is as a sender, I want to be able to track my packages. I know when it arrives destination. So by the time we do that, we know that we've done this. So the next thing we're doing is wallet. As a sender, I want to be able to fund my wallet and make payments easily, and also contact support and report driver. So if we want to report driver as well, this is where you come in and report driver. So in this particular page, you want to be able to report driver, you want to be able to track driver and view delivery info. So let me just leave a hint here. So 3 things we want to be able to do here. We want to be able to track driver, a call to action to drive driver, want to go to report driver, a call to action to report driver should be here as well. And also a call to action to and also view delivery details. Now delivery details I'm talking about here now. Delivery details I'm talking about here now is this particular details, this particular same information here, whatever thing they filled here, they should be able to like see their information here, right? Like the trip details. And this call to action to track driver, it's just a button. You click on the track driver button, it brings you to this particular screen, tracking screen, and so on and so forth. Then we will click on report. A report driver's action could be there. And also, since we can cancel trip here, so since it's a trip that you cannot cancel, we can also be able to like report driver on this particular page too as well. So yeah, so that's it. Then if it is a scheduled trip, now one more thing that we fail to add as well, if it is a scheduled trip, we should be able to add what's scheduled. So I think we need to come back here and touch this particular stuff as well to indicate that this particular trip is scheduled. For example, now I'm delivering blah blah. Okay, probably we'll put this stuff now could also be scheduled. For example, now this stuff could be delivering. It could be scheduled, and it could be delivered. It could be it could be picking up, right? Picking up. So different stuff can actually come in here. So I think everything here is done correctly. So who wants to take up this challenge? Then next week, Wednesday, you did before next week, Wednesday. By next week, Wednesday, we'll see what you've done. And we'll now look at it then. At the same time, we'll revisit this wallet that Fred did for us last week, since we couldn't actually treat it this week. So who wants to do that for us next week? Let me delete this.
Hi.
All right, let me see the person that is saying hi. I'm sorry. Coming. Participants. So what's your name, please?
Theophilus.
Theophilus. All right. Theophilus, I will give you access to this particular file. I will give you ability to. I'll give you ability to actually edit this file, right? Can edit, and please don't delete something. Please, I beg you. Just do what I ask you to do, and that's all.
Oh, okay.
So give me your email address. Can you just call your email address out for me, or send it as a chat? Send it as a chat so I can copy it. I'll give you access to this particular project now, so you can edit it and work on it. Oh, I didn't even see the suggestion that Omar was making. The delivery should be above the amount. Try the amount under the delivery. Yeah, that could have worked too as well. But Omar, what do you think with our final result though? What do you think into our final result? I didn't see. I would have tried this your suggestion.
Yeah, the final result is really nice too. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. I was asking Theophilus to chat, send it here to me, okay, but I think you sent it through WhatsApp. So this is TEOSULE1234 at gmail.com. Okay, now this will send you this will give you ability to be able to do that. All right, so that's it. Okay, can edit. So I've given you access to Theophilus, so you might want to. So we'll see what Theophilus will work. Will come up with by next week Wednesday, and we'll continue. So basically that's just it. We'll just be working on this stuff little by little, one after the other, and before you know it, we'll be done with the senders one. So once we're done with senders one, we'll now move to the driver application and work on the driver application. Then once we're done with the driver application, we'll also move to, so we're designing 3 apps. So this is a 3-in-1 app. We have the driver app, the business account app, and we have the senders app as well. Just like how Uber have 2 apps, the driver app and the passenger app that me and you, the one that we are using, if you're not a driver. So this one's going to have 3 apps, and we are going to design all those 3 apps following what we already have, and everything will be fine at the end of the day, right? So, so any other questions, guys? Because I'm rounding up now.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, our observation, you said you'll be able to cancel your order.
Yeah.
That what you said earlier, that you'll be.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of confused since it's a delivery app.
Yeah.
Why will you cancel an order?
Okay.
Like it's the package delivered to you.
No, you can cancel it if the driver have not picked it up.
You have paid.
No, you've not paid now. You've not paid. And you can also pay, you can also pay when they pick it up. There is this payment method here, how you want to pay. Like when you want to request and you see select payment method, and select payment method have like, let's say open. You can use your wallet, or you can pay on delivery. You cannot pay on pickup because we don't know the amount of money that you're going to pay. So the receiver can pay for the fee, or the what's it called? Or we can charge you from your wallet. We can charge you from your wallet. So that is where the wallet comes into play. So we don't even want you to attach your card to it, to just add funds. So any money you add here, that's all we'll charge you with here. So like next week now, we'll be reviewing your own design, and as well as Alfred design, to see how we can make this particular wallet section better. So the moment we do this, your part and this part, we are almost done with the design. Then we'll also design like the chat interface and the report driver. The call to action, you're going to click here, we'll take them to this screen to report driver. The cancel request, we don't need this screen anymore because we already have it here and here as well. So you see that we're almost done. Then the support as well. So where you can reach out to support as well, and stuff. So which is when you click here, right? And as well as your profile. So let's say, do you have any screen about profile here? So there's no any profile screen here. So let me duplicate this, for example, and have another screen called profile. So I love always like just create my blank screen to just give me an idea of, okay, what I'm still designing. So very soon we'll be done. The next 2 weeks we should be done at our current pace. Should be done in the next 2 weeks, and yeah, that's it. Right? So, and let me also see you at this so basically, so that's it, guys, and see you guys next week Wednesday, and thank you guys for joining. Peace out.
Okay.